So the next question is respect more important to men than love?
Oh. I'm listening.
Now it's on the men now.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Well, what does the Bible say? It says that, you know, wives submit to your husband, so like, you know, you have to put some respect on that, innit? No, I'm joking. I think, again, like the same with affection, I think if you don't love somebody, then how can you respect them?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, I can't, if I can't respect the fact that if I can't respect like how my wife feels, like how my girlfriend feels about certain situations, like let's just say you know, she, what example can I use? She may not feel as quick to wanna, I don't know, meet the families because I don't know, she might be sorting like certain stuff out, like, you know, within her own mind, and maybe just trying to improve that own relationship with, say, like, you know, mother, father, or brother, sister, or maybe it's just a thing where, oh, she's just kind of like in that zone, like kind of that season where she's kind of got like, well, when I say do her own thing, but just kind of like, you know, she's kind of like she's best serving God like more outside the home, more than like just being in. Like, it's just something like if I can't love her, like appreciate her for, you know, who she actually is, like, you know, just what she stands for, like her goals, like, you know, the vision that she has inside of her, then how can I respect the fact that maybe it's just not the right time for her? Because if it's out of sync, out of time, then, you know, when it comes to like family meeting, like, you know, I go meet the parents, she comes meet my parents, like, you know, she may not generally be interested in like having discussion, like she'll be like looking at a watch, like just watching for the earliest opportunity to hit the door. I'm not sure if it's the best example, but it's just, if we are in a loving relationship, then we're going to have to respect the fact that there are just like certain differences that we have to learn to, you know, adapt to, put aside, just see that, okay, it's not that big a deal, okay, like, let me just put some patience on that area, let me just be like, okay, you just take all the time you need, you just like come, like, you know, come my way when you're ready to, I don't know, shift or, you know, just open up a bit more.
Yeah.
But if there's no respect there, then it's just like all like, you know, forced or forced. It becomes more of a dictatorship than a relationship. So yeah.
Can we define respect? What does it mean to you guys? Like, especially as a man, like, because I know you men like respect, innit?
I think this is where
I know, but specifically.
You do love respect.
I am man. Respect me.
But I think that's where that major breakdown, I think, between men and women as genders comes. I think because women can be such emotional creatures, I think men often interpret a lot of those emotions as being disrespect, especially in a public forum.
That's what it is. We like to be in control.
So
and like with the
control the respect? Is they allowing you to be in control the respect? That
when I say control, I mean kind of like in control, like you know, just kind of like composed. I mean, I think we as men, we've been kind of like raised up and like taught to kind of think more, kind of like analyze situations before we come at it with like, pow,
because it's life and death. I think when a guy goes into contact, raises his voice with someone, there's usually a life and death scenario. We've chosen to enter that situation knowing we're willing to die for this. Whereas when a woman starts going up, it's like,
war, it's war, fam.
Yeah, but I don't know what the parameters are. Like what is the extent to which this is a thing? What is riding on this situation?
I'll give you an example. Like there was one time that you know, because I had a previous phone that was just starting to act up, and you know, my mum gave me like a new phone just to activate and just, you know, transfer all my data into it. But there was just a day where I forgot to charge it, because if it's not charged, then like how you gonna do anything on it? But I just generally forgot.
You're gonna be in trouble.
So that's the thing. Like I forgot to. I just came in like one evening, like she asked me, oh Aaron, have you charged your phone? And I was just like, oh no, I just realized I forgot. And she just went on like, oh, why are you being so stubborn? Why are you being so disrespectful? And I'm just like, well, it's my mum, so I couldn't really like outwardly say like, what do you mean disrespectful? Like, you know, argue back, because you know, like I'm still like probably 21, 22, but you know, she's my mum, so she could still knock me out if she wanted to, but But I felt so offended, like, you know, I'm just telling you I forgot, and I'm just telling you all calm, like, she gets a little bit, like, emotional or whatever, and I'm just thinking, like, no, man, I feel disrespected, like, how you gonna call me disrespectful? I just forgot, like, how you gonna mix the two?
Like, you'd be like packing your bags to leave home at like 8, like, not gonna yell at me like that, yell at me like that.
Exactly.
I'm taking my Oyster card and leaving it like.
So, like, we charged the phone, but I'm still, like, vexed over it, because it's kind of like, no, man, how you gonna come up for me like that? Like, she takes a picture of me just to test the quality, and, like, if you still saw, like, the picture, like, my face is like, I'm laughing about it now, so it's kind of hard to, but I'm like this.
So is bruising your ego or your pride like disrespect to you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like in many senses, I think in many senses, yeah, it's a form of kind of like, because we kind of take pride in ourselves, we kind of take pride in the mindset, like, when it comes, depending on the situation, like we've already made up our mind about certain things. We've kind of already made up our mind about like, oh, it only works like this way, because it makes sense to me. So I'm just gonna stick to it, and you know, if you don't agree, you know, you need to come correctly about why you don't agree. So, but when you actually do it the wrong way, so let's just say, you know, you got the archetype of woman who's like quite emotional, like just whatever's on the mind, like she speaks it, like kind of regardless how it comes out. You know, it is kind of a boost that ego, and it will ring to the man as self-disrespect, because
that's why it's not effective, I think, a lot of the time. When you try and forcefully change a guy's mind by shouting, I don't know if it's ever worked in the history of the world. Like, the scariest thing in the world to me would be like a woman crying and not speaking, and be like, oh my God, like, what's wrong? What can I do to help in this situation? But that going at you thing, you just said kind of like, gradual, backing away more and more, you know?
Well, I kind of feel like men don't really like being told what to do. I mean, Funmi, what do you think? Like,
I wanted to ask, in regards to sometimes where a woman may feel emotional and she may say something, or like her tone even may be seen as disrespectful.
You have a good calming tone. If you complain in that voice, you'd be good.
I agree.
How would you kind of weigh how the disrespect and the love? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the disrespect.
Do you mean like, would you still be able to feel would the man still be able to feel the love even though?
Yeah, even though
she's
like
angry or upset.
Because she's emotional.
Yeah.
And he may perceive it as disrespectful. Yeah. But it's just because that's how women tend to be. Like, that's how they express themselves.
Yeah. I think also that the man should know that she loves him. So I think they understand that it's because of the love. It's kind of. I'm not saying it's right,
no, I mean,
but like the whole reason that they're so bothered and worked up is because of the love that they have. So they're just not challenging
love languages, though.
That's
That, like, I think to a guy, the greatest indicator of a lack of love would be that disrespect. I think more than anything else.
What if it wasn't every day, you know, because we all blow up.
Because we all blow up.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, personality and character are kind of interesting equations within that situation. But then I think there's always going to be issues. How frequent they are depends on your relationship. But the delivery of how they're handled in those situations, I think, will determine the guy's mind whether the woman's respectful. Because I mean, I think this is the point where I'd say where respect is more valued, because if a woman does love you, you feel, but she disrespects you, I think that's quicker to end a relationship than the other way around, you know.
So why do some guys marry people that they think are already disrespectful at the relationship stage? Like, why continue the relationship?
That's even more of a complex question. That's like, why do guys marry?
What?
That's even more of a complex question.
It's ideologies that they might like go into, like kind of thinking it's hunky-dory, and I think it's on like the woman's part as well. Like, those who get married, you know, you run into certain problems, and like the only option they make for themselves is divorce. I think it's because of, one, the idea of marriage that they had in their heads beforehand, and number two, their expectations like of each other. Then, like, were they realistic, or is it more like you know, like Disney's Aladdin and Princess Jasmine. I don't know.
And did he want to get married?
Yeah. That's not pushing him.
I think as well, like the world kind of encourages women to kind of be, because you know there's this whole feminist thing going on. And I'm not saying it's right for women to be discriminated against, but I think women have taken it to the extreme. So they kind of make it acceptable. Okay, like answer back kind of thing. Sometimes it's good in marriage just to be quiet, like, you know, just it's not every time we have to reply.
I think peace is a very common male love language. I think definitely for myself, my main thing in terms of if a relation will or won't work, and like I kind of learned that lesson in a way, whereas I kind of felt like if I brought peace to the home, that was me doing my part, and if you maintain that peace, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily work like that both ways.
And another thing as well, like with love and respect, you know, we agreed, you know, a few seconds ago, love is decision making, it's a mindset. So therefore, there are the fruits that will come out of that.
Yeah, it's true.
So therefore, and what actually comes to mind is, you know, love your neighbor as you love yourself. The second greatest commandment after loving God with everything in you. So if one thing that I know for myself, if I want respect, you know, from my other, then I gotta be willing to be the first to actually give it again. So it's just really about, you know, the things that you are like seeking to receive, you know, like have you got it in you like first to actually give it, you know what I mean? And that's not to say that, that's not to say that, you're going to speak to the person on the other side saying, well, until I'm only gonna give what I receive. It's not saying that you're giving them permission to wait on you to do something first, but it's just that mutual decision that, okay, all that I've got in me, like the best I have in me, that's what I'm gonna give to you. And if we can just agree to, you know, consistently just like give the best of ourselves like to each other, like just exchanging, you know, the best of like my affection, the best of my respect, because the love is the foundation there, and you know it's mutual. It's just it's always going to be just the good things being exchanged. You know what I mean? And yeah, love language. You get used to each other over time. The love languages, like, you know, they will change. And this is me just bouncing off, like, you know, things I've learned from married couples that I do know, people who I do know who are in a relationship, the things that they open up about. Because people change, like they grow over time. Like I'm not the Aaron who I am right now. It's not the same Aaron who I was last year or 5 years ago. You know, there's been some change, there's been experience, there's been some development, there's been revelations that, you know, God has dealt with me in certain areas of my life. So imagine the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be like changes, there's going to be growth. So when my lady Parich, like, you know, catches the flow of those changes, like when she discerns those changes, when, you know, she just listens when I'm just opening up about certain things that, you know,
Lady Parich,
I'm going through. Just it'll just go a lot smoother. It'll go smoother. It may not be easy, and this is me like just kind of speaking that like ahead of time. It won't be easy, but you know, it's a fight that's worth it. Like fighting for love, not, you know, fighting the love out of each other.
So would it mean that your spouse or girlfriend does not love you if the disrespect or perceived disrespect is coming from a place of frustration, where they feel like, you know, with what was the last question again? If she's not receiving her love language, and she becomes frustrated from it, and from that now becomes more disrespectful. Do you see that she doesn't love you? Or because I think people tend to say guys don't listen, and it becomes frustrating when they don't listen.
I don't think it's done. I think there's some things that the more we talk, the more there is to unpack, isn't there? But yeah, I think it's the feeling, and then I think what we're contending with, if you feel a certain way, does it then become a reality? If I feel disrespected, have I therefore been disrespected? Like, you know, that feeling, because I think your internal feeling is your reality. Whether it's reality of the world or not is like another question. But then, yeah, I think it would still be perceived as disrespect, then perception is everything. Whatever your perception is your reality that you then live by and make your decisions by. So I think how to correct, I think for some reason seems to keep coming back to. So usually at a point of disrespect, a woman has a problem, an issue, and then she then seeks to correct that behaviour. So then it becomes a how do men receive correction and such? And like shouting has kind of never been the
whole
way it goes.
nagging thing. You know,
That's
there's a
what I mean.
scripture in the Bible that says it's better for a man to do something. What is it? Sit in the corner of, I don't know. There's something.
The one about the tongue, is it?
It's better for a man to like sit on the ceiling or
something, than to have a nagging
wife.
Yeah.
Like.
Guys, if you're watching this, if you've got the reference, just please look it up and like, like
you
put
just
it
keep
in the
your comments
comments.
close by still. You get to the phones there too,
might
but
be the corner chart.
yeah, I think this is one of the little point in there. I think just in terms of understanding, because I know it can just seem wild. Why is everything disrespectful to you guys? What's wrong with you?
Yes.
But I think I think from a very young age, if you think to what extent point scoring in order to have respect is kind of embedded in terms of the male psyche, from wanting to be the fastest. So like a guy will sit doing this all day, not simply because he's a waste man or whatever else people like to say, but that like perception of getting more points and whatnot, like rising up, and all of those things come with respect. And I think it is a global thing, how many follows, how many likes, all that stuff. But I think in a male psyche, your respect and what attributes to respect, and the fact that say a salary and having a high salary may not even be about the money. A job may not even necessarily be about what you like to do for work, but the respect and everything that comes with it. So it's such an integral part of the male. I don't know if it's because of the I don't know.
It could be a lot of things. The way you socialise, like the kind of peers that you're surrounded with. If you're that kind of kid who had friends who like spitting out like your mama jokes and all that, and contending with that one boy who likes to start fights, and you constantly picked on, and you've got friends who like, oh, you're gonna have that, fam. No, don't let them disrespect you like that. Like that's one example, but yeah. But like if we were created to be able to run a planet and be in charge of a planet, and then within our psyche and everything we've been given and been told, and there's something so deeply embedded, and that level of control where we feel like we're like supposed to be protecting you and everything else, and then it's almost feel like number one, often it's not acknowledged because of those love languages and whatnot. Like, man, if she really loved me, she'd be quiet right now. Yeah. But yeah,
I understand that, because I know that in even in our church and even in some African homes that I visited, it's like the girls should be in the kitchen, the guys should sit down and be served and all those things, and for them, for those groups of people, that is where they get their respect from. So now when they're moving into marriage and their wife isn't doing the same thing, then they also feel disrespected and react in a way as though they have been disrespected. So I could understand that. From a wide range of backgrounds, like no matter how Christian you've been growing up, or how moral you've been growing up. I could understand.
I think it's communication. Communication is key.
Yeah, definitely.
Like in any relationship, in marriage and courtship, in families, in business. Communication is key. If no one's if there's no communication, then these ideas, these perceptions that are stored up inside, and obviously there's always going to be difference in opinion, like no matter how open we are with each other. However, if there's no communication, then when it comes to those misconceptions, like they're just gonna explode at the wrong time, and need I say more?
But to get back to the question, I think, because the question is to men, right? It's not to me. It's to men, is respect more important than love? Then I say I say to men, respect is.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
But then again, like the Bible instructs us, like, respect your husband, innit? Yeah, so that's how you. That is how you love, is to respect him. So I think
it can come from so many places. Like I think, like if you look at say the history of say kings even and that kind of thing, like it's people that have demanded respect with like no love attached to it, like whatsoever,
So you'd rather your wife respects you than loves you? that's a priority for you?
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, but like, is respect more important to men than love?
To men,
yeah.
My wife.
It could include your wife.
In terms of me, I thought about this for a while. I like put them fairly close to each other, but I think if one was going to cause a downfall of the marriage, it'd be a lack of respect before it'd be a lack of love. Because you may have, kind of going back to the affection stuff, but you may have a lot of the same fruits necessarily without the love. Because I mean, it works when you've got family. Like there's certain things that you do within the balance of the family. Just it becomes verbatim and it becomes habitual, you know. Not necessarily what you might just put in as love, you know. Because a lot of the things that people do that you could say are attributed to love, people do them for a salary, even, you know, like cleaning, cooking, taking care of kids. These are all like paid industries and such. Yeah, so that can happen without a love factor even there. But yeah, I say the feeling of being constantly disrespected, there's no guy that can really tolerate that.
And yeah, wives, submit to your husbands. Like, I know historically, you know, there's just been all this like high debate, like, oh, does submit mean like, oh, like, you know, just
slavery.
Get on your, like slavery, like, oh, like get on your knees, like, or you get whipped or stuff like that. Obviously, that's not what Paul meant when he said that, but obviously, with the headship of the male, like in the household, like the spiritual headship, again, it's reflective. It's itself. It's a lifestyle parable of, you know, God's headship over the church, ultimately. And, you know, we kind of get to play in that to grow and understanding that, like, by way of the marriage relationship, by, you know, the husband, the father, like, you know, being appointed like the spiritual head of his household. And when that's actually undermined, like, it's like a straight, you know, slap in the face to God, and also a straight slap in the face in the fact that, well, actually, you could have said no to marrying this guy, but obviously, you know, ideally, you found confirmation that, yeah, God has actually, you know, given you this man. So you said yes, but in saying yes, then you've only said yes to actually respecting the fact that, you know, honouring the fact that, you know, whatever direction the family goes, you know, when he's in the right, like, mindset and, like, he's in tune with the Holy Spirit, it's really his final decision that goes. Like, obviously, you know, you can, like, have some input, but ultimately he's the one who actually gives the green light to, you know, X, Y, and Z. So if there's no respect, then, like, you know, there's no submission. There's no submission, then how's that house going to function? And then that's when, you know, love actually breaks down. That's a major component in the love breaking down, because, like, you know, you're actually not, you've lost acknowledgement of, well, like the bargain, the battle contract that God has actually, you know, fleshed out of what marriage looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.